What's the deal? It's your man DeeJay Canis back again with another one right here in the lab in sunny South Florida. I'm still on my jazz tip, so we're gonna sample another joint off the Ahmad Jamal Jamalca album. Make sure you pick that album up, man. There's a lot of heat on that album right there. And also see if you can find the sample that I picked for today's flip. So as always, make sure you check out the website at djkns.com and let's see if we can make some heat. Let's get it cracking. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get this sample in. Once again, I'm still on my jazz tip. This is the Ahmad Jamal song that we got off the Jamalca album. Pick that up and see if you can figure out what that is. So let me go ahead and load that in Serato and we'll sample it in. So I got the sample loaded in and I actually pitched this up plus 16 to see if we can avoid YouTube from flagging this. Let me go ahead and set the detect and let's do it. Let's go ahead and edit this. First thing I like to do is normalize. All right, so we have that piece right there, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a bunch of copies. All right, so let's start chopping since I have my duplicates. I'm gonna start with this one. Here and we're gonna shift that down. All right, one thing I made sure to do was make sure that these cut each other off, like so they cut each other off. So let's go ahead and do this pattern. Let me turn my metronome on. We're gonna do 4 bars. Go ahead and quantize that. All right, cool. So, all right, let's see the second pattern with this. We're gonna do 4 bars. Quantize that. Switch it. Yep. All right, so let me get some drums loaded up and we're gonna lay down some percussion. All right, so I got my drums loaded up. We got this kick. This is 2 different snares right here. So I'll mute that. You got that snare, and then you have this. And both of those are being triggered simultaneously, so they sound like this. Then I have this, that, and a couple of things there. So let's lay down that tambourine first. Snare next. So let me 16 level this. So 16. All right, so let's go ahead and double that, right? So we're gonna double that, and then we're gonna add right there. Cool. So let me go ahead and clean that up really quickly. And then I think I'm gonna make this section, the verse section. So I'm gonna extend that to about 16 bars, put a little variation, and then we'll do the drums for the hook section. All right. All right, so I cleaned up the drums, and like I said, I extended it to 16 bars, right? So here's a preview of what it sounds like. It's like this. Yep. All right, so now we're gonna work on the drums for the hook section really quickly. So let's go ahead and do that. This one, since it's gonna differ from the verse section, we're not gonna do the hi-hats. It's just gonna be strictly kick, snare, and a roll. So here we go. I need to put the metronome on for that one. Now that we have that, let me double that. All right, we're gonna put that right at the end. Cool. Let me go ahead and clean that up so then you'll hear the final results. All right, so I went ahead and shifted the drums, cleaned it up a little bit. So this is how it sounds. All right, cool. So now that we have that, you know what time it is. It's time to put that bass in. All right, so I got my bass patch loaded up. I'm using Contact, and I put a filter on it. So let's go ahead and see what we got. We're gonna do 4 bars, and then we'll extend it. All right, so let me go ahead and lengthen that 16, and then let's work on the bass for the other hook pattern. All right. So now that we have the bass, right, let me go ahead and make an intro, and then we're going to tie everything in together. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Let me create another pattern. All right, so this is what we're going to do for the intro, right? I've done this in a few videos already, but we're going to do it again because it sounds good. We're going to go ahead and do a little repeat, right? And we're going to do a fade in with it. And then I'm going to change the quantization of the repeat, make it go faster, and we're going to fade out, right? I'll show you what I mean. Okay, cool. All right, so now that we got that, let me go ahead and fade in and fade out, so I'll show you what I mean. All right, so now that I got the fade in and the fade out going, let's lay down the drum roll and then the drop. Quantize that. Cool. So the next thing now.
Hey yo, K&S, drop it on them, drop it on them.
We're gonna do that.
Hey yo, K&S, drop it on them, drop it on them.
Okay. So let me go ahead and shift that correctly so that it drops where it needs to drop. And then we're going to put everything in song mode and you'll hear how the song builds. All right, so I have everything lined up the way it's supposed to be. So we're going to start with the intro. We're going to go into the 16-bar verse. Then we're going to go into the 8-bar hook and then tail back around to the 16-bar verse. So peep it.
Hey yo, K&S, drop it on them, drop it on them.
Oh, Lord. I think that's another heater right there, boy. I don't know what y'all think, but to me, that's a heater right there. You know, we definitely came in here and made some heat. You know what I mean? So anyways, check this out, man. You already know the deal, man. Check me back next week. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we drop some new heat. All right. Make sure you check out DJKNS.com. Right here. It's on the bottom of the screen, DJKNS.com. Check that out. Also, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification so that every time I upload some more heat, you'll be the first to know. You know what I mean? And until next week, KNS out.
Hey, yo, KNS, drop it on them.